Rich is not just synonymous with money. Rich is synonymous with living. You know, when I think of money, all money really is energy, and it's energy in movement, and we don't circulate money particularly well in this world or in this country. It gets accumulated, and when things get accumulated, energy stops moving. So one way that we can begin to move money, as an example, is to have it become more meaningful to move it.
If you hoard your money, a few things happen. You get sick, and then you have to pay for the medical bills.
Really?
Yeah, or like your kids do something bad, and then you have to pay for the damage. So money needs outlet. So it's so interesting how money flows. And if you don't let out money energy's outlet, it's gonna get bad. It's like a pond. Mm-hmm. If there's no flow, the water gets bad. And then the next flow comes in. So here comes money EQ, the trust part. Trust is the hardest part of money EQ. You have to have the trust that once you let go of money, it comes back. So you don't have the trust. That's why you start worrying. That's why you have doubts about yourself.
Life is about an expression of spirit. Life is an expression of itself, and it gets constrained by story. How can I be more artfully expressing who I am fully in a joyous way and accepting life as it comes to me without precondition? That gives me an opportunity to move beyond my story, and it also gives me an opportunity to really identify where my story is constraining me.
You have to find your place, your seat, your reserved seat is what I call. A lot of people try to sit on other people's seat, which is wrong because your seat is reserved somewhere else. And if you don't sit on other people's seat, what happens is that you get so depressed, and then you feel so meaningless, and all that, because you cannot really feel life. But once you sit on your seat, you are so deeply connected with your life purpose. Then you start, your magnetism gets turned on.
For most people, what they do is exterior driven. It's driven by what we think others think we should have. It's not what we think we should have. And having a new iPhone, having a new watch, having an increased bank account may give me peripheral satisfaction, but deep emotional meaning is usually not going to be there. We have a poverty of meaning, particularly in the Western world, that is driven by rampant consumerism, thinking that we're going to replace this whole. And if people can stop and think about what's meaningful to them, why am I alive? What can I be doing that will bring inherent meaning to who I am and why I'm here? That makes a big difference.
The first thing I would teach is money is fun. So if your kids know that money is fun, so we used to sit on the dinner table, just say, I have this, say, $10,000 to donate. What do you want to do? You can, help rescue the animals. You can help the environment. You can help the homeless people. What do you want to do? And when we give presents, what would you want to do? So my daughter grew up thinking money can do so many wonders. So if all our kids learned money is a magical wand to make people happy, I think people are more excited about getting the money. So they have no negative ideas about money. Imagine what if all the children have never been scolded for wasting their money. I think we'll be so stress-free, because a lot of worries come from the need for survival, and it's attached to money.
Right.
So once we are free of money stress, I think our life will be so different.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you can teach money is a fun thing, that is a great starter.
Okay. Number one, teach them money is fun.
Right. And also, even though your child is growing up with positive attitudes, your friends may not. So they're trying to compete with you of how much they have, allowances, or like, this is my new iPhone something,
yes.
Or like, this is my sneakers, or whatever that is. And then people try to manipulate you with emotions. So if you start teaching You feel bad about money. You feel ashamed of money. You feel guilty about around money. We all feel some emotions.
Yes.
So if you start teaching emotions about around money, I think your kids will be emotionally free. Yeah, the other day I got a big check from overseas. The book I wrote 18 years ago, it's about $10,000. And then I asked money, do you want to stay with me or do you want to go somewhere? In imagination, the money says I want to go to Cambodia to help kids.
Wow.
And then I remember there is a friend of mine who is doing an orphanage in Cambodia. So that $10,000 is helping kids for fruits and the electricity and the rent for a whole year, like 36 kids. So if I start doing that, the more money comes in. So more money comes in from the world, and I've written 200 books. So like book royalties come from everywhere. So almost like every few other days, I get money from somewhere.
Interesting.
If you're spending too much, you have to start saving. If you're saving too much, you have to start spending. So the prescription I give to each client is different. For some people, the savers, I said, withdraw $1,000 and spend it for nothing in 24 hours.
They probably freak out like, ah.
No, they are okay to the withdrawing part. And so the next few days, a week later, they came back and said, Ken, I withdrew $1,000.
I didn't spend it.
But I spent like $20.
Oh, man.
Because they cannot waste their money. It's against their constitution.
If I had one piece of advice, and this was the last thing that I asked them to think about and to consider as they live their life, is not to be encumbered by what the world seems to be showing them. Listen to their heart. They know what they need to know in order to do and be what they need to do and be. They just need to quiet themselves in order to listen.
So do you want to be a happy person, or do you want to be a wealthy person? You can take both. But the way to happy and wealthy people only has an opening who aim for happiness first. And then if you're lucky, or if it's your destiny, I would say, you may be rewarded with money.